After recording this lesson, 15 minutes of my time, I realized that I did not have the microphone on. Now I do, so we are going to try again, starting from the top. This is lesson 4.2, simplifying algebraic expressions. So pause this video, write down the warm-ups, try them on your own, then we'll go through them together. Okay, we have to write an equivalent expression, -4 times n minus 6. Well, remember, when we use distributive property, when there's subtraction, we always got to add up. Once we add up, we can distribute. -4 times n plus -4 times -6. Then I simplify. -4n plus positive 24. Can't combine those, so there's my answer. The next one, we have 12 times 4 minus m. Again, whenever I say minus, I'm going to add up. Distribute. 12 times 4 plus 12 times -m. 12 times 4 is 48, plus 12 times -m is -12m. And now that I've done that, I don't want to leave it like that because, like I said before, we always want to put that coefficient and variable first. So I'm just going to rewrite it as -12m plus 48, just switching those around. And then the last one was multiple choice of an example of the distributive property. Well, I see that there's a couple of them with a plus sign in there between the number and the parentheses. We know distributive property only works when we're multiplying, so it can't be either of those. And then looking at the first one, we'd have to distribute the 3 times x plus 3 times 8, not a, which means it's c. 3 times x plus 3 times 8, distributing that 3. Okay, I know we've gone over this vocab a few times, but it is super important. Terms are all of the pieces of our expression, right? All of those numbers in between the operations. Coefficients are the numbers before the variables. Constants are numbers by themselves, so they don't have a variable with them. And then like terms are just simply terms we can combine. So in your notes, I want you to write down this problem, and then we're going to go through that. 8x minus 3y plus 4. We always want to add up whenever we have minus so that we don't forget that that 3y is really negative. Then for the terms, that's just all the pieces. 8x, -3y, 4. Coefficients are the numbers before the variables, so 8 and -3, because those are both in front of variables. Constants, numbers by themselves, that would just be 4. And then like terms are terms we can combine. There's none here. Okay, let's try one more. 3x plus x plus 6. So again, the terms are all of the pieces. So we have 3x, x, and 6 with a comma in between. Coefficients are the numbers before the variables. So we have 3, and then there's really like an invisible 1 before that x, so we don't want to forget about that. Constants, just the numbers by themselves, so we have 6. And then like terms are terms we can combine. 3x and x are both the same variable, so they can both be combined. Okay, now we're going to talk about simplifying expressions. So simplifying means combining like terms and having no grouping symbols. So combining everything we can, making sure that there's no parentheses left in our answer. So you're going to want to write down these examples to have in your notes. 3v plus 6 plus 4v plus -8. First thing I like to always check for is to see if I can add up anywhere, because that's going to help me to get the right answer. This problem I can't, so now I'm just going to combine like terms. 3v plus 4v is 7v, plus 6 plus -8 is -2. I can't combine those because those are not like terms, so there's my answer. Number 2, I have 4n minus 7 minus n plus 9. Wherever I say minus, that's where I'm going to add up. So I'm going to change those to plus negative, and now I can combine like terms. 4n plus negative n, so that's really 4n take away 1n, we get 3n, plus negative 7 plus 9, 2. So we get 3n plus 2. Can't combine those. Okay, practice a few more. 2 times x minus 14 plus 9x plus 1. So always look first to see if we can add up. Then we want to distribute. I'm going to distribute this 2 to both terms. 2 times x plus 2 times negative 14 plus 9x plus 1. And then, whoa! Then I'm just going to simplify. We have 2x plus negative 28 plus 9x plus 1. Combine like terms. 2x plus 9x is 11x. Plus negative 28 plus 1 is negative 27. Can't combine those. They aren't like terms, so there's my answer. All right, another one. 8n minus 5 times m minus 2n. So again, first thing I'm going to want to do is add up wherever I say minus. And now, before I can do anything with that 8n, I have to distribute this negative 5. So this turns into 8n plus negative 5 times m plus negative 5 times negative 2n. Then I can simplify. 8n plus negative 5 times m would be negative 5m plus negative 5 times negative 2n would be positive 10n. Now I can combine like terms. 8n plus 10n is 18n plus negative 5m. Even though they're both variables, they're different variables, so we cannot combine. All right, then we have a scary one. And it's not as bad as it looks. Make sure you pause it and get everything written down. Again, first thing I want to see, can I add up anywhere? Yep. Now I'm going to distribute. I'm going to distribute that 3/4 to those two terms and negative 1/3 to these two terms. So this turns into 3/4 times 12g plus 3/4 times 2h plus negative 1/3 times 6h plus negative 1/3 times 3g. Whew. Okay. Now, even though this looks really scary, it's really not that bad. All we have to do is take 3/4 times 12, which is just 3/4 times 12 over 1. Cross simplify. And we are left with 9g plus, and then take 3/4 times 2, and you're left with 1.5h plus, and then take negative 1/3 times 6, which would be negative 2h, plus negative 1/3 times 3g would be negative 1g. Okay, so now that we've done that, we are going to combine like terms. We have 9g and negative 1g. Combine those and we get 8g plus 1.5h minus 2h is negative 1/2h. Can't combine, so there's our answer. Okay, this one looks really scary too, and this one is really tricky, but I wanted to give you a harder example in your notes so that hopefully the ones on the homework, quiz, and test won't be as scary. So this one says, while training for soccer, you work out each day after school. During your workout, you lift weights and play soccer for a total of 75 minutes. Okay, so we have weights and soccer for 75 minutes. We know that we burn 7 calories per minute when playing soccer and 3 calories per minute when lifting weights. It's asking us, it says, let T be the time in minutes you play soccer. Write and simplify an expression in terms of T for the total calories you burn during your workout. So this is a lot of information we're given. And the only variable we're allowed to use is T. That's the only one we can use. So let's think about this. Let's start with soccer. We burn 7 calories per minute when playing soccer. I know per is multiplication, so I can write that as 7T. Then we know that we burn 3 calories per minute when lifting weights. But I can't do plus 3 times T because they're not necessarily the same amount of minutes. And if we use the same variable, well, that doesn't work. So here's what we have to do. We have to take that 75 minutes of time subtracted by T. So there was 75 minutes total, and we're taking away this time we're playing soccer. So this is going to be the time in weights. But now it says we burned 3 calories per minute lifting weights. So I'm going to multiply that one by 3. So again, the 7T is the time or the calories for soccer. The 75 minus T and then times 3 is the time for weight. So thinking about this, and I know it's a lot to wrap your mind around, T is the time for soccer, if I can spell. And then 75 minus T is the time left for weights. You know how much time I have left for weights? 0. Okay, now I'm going to distribute. Oh, before I distribute, I should have added up. So now I have 7T plus 3 times 75 plus 3 times negative T. So we get 7T, not 7D, 7T. That's funny. 7T plus 225 plus negative 3T. Combine like terms, 4T plus 225. That's as simplified as it gets, so there's our expression. Then it says find the total number of calories you burned if you played soccer for 55 minutes. So now I'm just going to plug in 55 for T and solve. You could also plug it into our unsimplified expression and you get the same thing. 4 times 55 is 220. And then plus 225 leaves us with 445 calories. All right, this next one hopefully is a little bit easier. It says you have some money in a savings account. Your sister has $25 more than you have in her account. Write an expression in simplest form to show the total in both accounts. Okay, so we know we have some amount of money. We have X. This is us. Okay? That's our amount. We know our sister has that same amount, but $25 more. So our sister has that same amount plus $25 more. Oh my goodness. So this is sisters. To find the total, all we have to do is add those together. X plus 25. I'm just adding ours and the sisters. And now I can simplify. X plus X is 2X plus 25. There we go. Okay, very last one, it says write an expression for the perimeter of the rectangle. So perimeter is 2 times the length plus 2 times the width, right? Because perimeter is just that distance around our shape. So all we're going to do is we're going to plug in 2 times the length, which is 2b minus 4, plus 2 times the width, which is b plus 8. Always want to look first to see if I can add up. I can here. And then I'm going to distribute. Got a lot of distributing to do. 2 times 2b is 4b. And I'm skipping that step for this problem on like writing out 2 times 2b and then converting that to 4b. If you're comfortable with just going to the answer, that's okay. If you're not, you should be writing out the steps. And it's also just a really good way to check your work if you're showing it step by step. Okay, then we have plus 2 times negative 4 is negative 8. Plus 2 times b is 2b. Plus 2 times 8 is 16. Now I can combine like terms. 4b plus 2b is 6b. Negative 8 plus 16 is 8. So the perimeter is 6b plus 8.